Alpha Squadron, area .327, Bravo .365 और चार्ली .359 में लोकेट होंगे। सिखलाए हुए तरीके से दुश्मन को बर्बाद करेंगे। ऑर्डर्स में कोई शक?
Having a strong mechanized force is critical for victory in a battle. These forces consist of the armored corps and the mechanized infantry. They are supported by self-propelled artillery, air defense guns, helicopters and other mobile elements.
I can destroy anything which comes in between.
These mechanized vehicles are a very potent force in war.
The ultimate aim of any soldier is to go to war one day. And for that you have to be continuously prepared.
I guess you'll have to be at the target end to realize the effect of tank firepower. The only option left with the enemy is to pray, pray and pray more.
There is nothing which can really stop this monster.
One important part of the mechanized forces is the armored corps.
The main role of armored corps is to deliver firepower with speed at the desired place.
Armored corps is a division of an army that fights a battle using armored vehicles. These vehicles are no ordinary vehicles. They have armor made from thick and heavy metal plates.
It's a huge amount of metal in front of you that is protecting the crew from tank fire. So that is why it needs to be protected.
The arsenal of the Indian mechanized forces includes main battle tanks at par with the most modern tanks in the world and infantry combat vehicles complemented by specialists in mechanized warfare.
Armored Corps has got an extremely crucial role to play. In fact, Armored Corps is the spearhead of any kind of operation that this country is born to undertake.
During a war, the armored forces play a crucial role in running over enemy positions and establishing dominance over a large area at one go. The armored forces of today are the modern avatars of the erstwhile cavalry. Cavalry soldiers used to pierce through enemy infantry formations riding horses, camels and chariots. They have now been replaced by vehicles like tanks, the war horses of the armored forces. They can operate in terrains where other combat arms have difficulty moving.
While the artillery attack is used, the armor being mobile, it can move ahead. It can fire while on the move.
45-ton giant machine can move at 70 kilometers an hour. That's mobility for you.
Tanks have turrets, radar and secondary armaments that can swivel 360 degrees. The entire tank body can spin 360 degrees standing at one place. Tanks thus offer unparalleled maneuverability in ground battles.
We have this kind of mobility to survive and deliver the decisive punch.
The Indian Army has various types of tanks catering to a variety of battle requirements. These include the indigenously developed battle tank Arjun. It is equipped with a 120mm rifled gun which can fire a wide range of shells. Its indigenously developed Kanchan composite armor offers its crew superior protection against enemy attack.
For the first time when I saw the tank, I was flabbergasted. It was so huge, big. It was looking like a war machine.
The Indian Armored Arsenal also consists of tanks of Russian origin. T-72, named Ajay by the Indian Army, is one of the most potent and versatile tanks the Armored Corps possesses. A crew of one commander, one gunner and one driver operates this lethal piece of machinery. Its primary weapon is the 125mm smoothbore gun, capable of firing high explosive anti-tank ammunition. It can destroy targets up to 4 kilometers in aimed fire. The main battle tank of the Indian Army is the T-90, also of Russian origin. It is named Bhishma by the Indian Army. It compares with the finest main battle tanks in the world.
It has a 125mm smoothbore gun. It has everything that any tank would require right now in the modern day warfare. This is one of the smallest tanks that is there, of its class. Supposing this, with the color that is there on this tank, if you place it somewhere at 2,000 meters, about 2 kilometers somewhere in the bushes, you won't be able to see it. But it is having a huge amount of firepower.
We don't require roads to move on. We make our own way in deserts, and this is how the Armored Corps goes. We rule the deserts.
We've got a very special relationship with deserts.
The heat and the dust of the Thar Desert means that both the tanks and their crew work under extreme weather conditions. Summer daytime temperatures here can soar up to 50 degrees Celsius. Metal being a good conductor of heat means that the tank crew stationed inside these all-metal vehicles, closed from all 4 sides, may have to endure temperatures as high as 60 degrees Celsius. The tank crew stations are not air-conditioned.
With the deserts, we share a relationship as we share with our wives. Initially, it takes time to understand her, but once you start loving it, once you start staying there, you enjoy it.
Armored forces are considered to be best equipped and most effective for battles in plains and deserts. However, the Indian Army created a record of sorts by deploying tanks at Zojila, nearly 12,000 feet above the sea level, during the Kashmir War in 1947-48. The unanticipated appearance of tanks at these heights took the enemy by complete surprise and dampened their morale. The Indian armored forces have always been there when called upon to defend the country. They have played a critical role in all the 4 wars the country has fought in.
Yeah, I feel it is more about the men than the machines. The men are the real power, the energy that drives this army. The machines keep changing, but the men have always remained the same, pre-independence in post.
The Armored Corps was my final choice and will always be my final choice whenever I join, in my next birth also.
The men of the Armored Corps are known to live by the traditional cavalry spirit.
We are cavaliers, we are happy-go-lucky. We work hard, we party hard.
Armored Corps has got a slightly different kind of an attitude, a swagger to our gait. That again too is born out of our dedication towards our job. It is not that we do different things, it is that we do our things differently.
These men have a mix of dash, elan and a willingness to engage the enemy at once.
I hope we are able to live up to the expectations of this great nation which has reposed such explicit faith in us.
Guarding the frontier of the nation, I always feel, proud and just want to be there till I live.
Be it even if it means to the peril of his life, if he has to die. If a task is allotted that, okay, he knows I'm going to die, but he still goes ahead and still fights. That is what makes an army man.
I assure you, the country is in safe hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you briefly about Armored Corps. The tanks that you see behind me are devastating machines.
Mission Army's 5 civilian candidates now get to learn the basics of armored warfare with the mechanized forces. Dressed in the enviable black armor uniform, the Mission Army warriors get their first lesson on the battle tanks. The Mission Army candidates need to excel in communication before they can lay hands on the tanks. The radio set, being the staple equipment for communication, needs to be mastered first.
Alpha 1, come in. Commander Rohan.
Hello, hello.
Hi Priyanka. Alpha 1, all okay? Report. Alpha 1, okay, over.
A tank is made up of thousands of mechanical, electrical and electronic parts. And an Armored Corps officer needs to know the tanks inside out. For they have to operate and maintain these on a day-to-day basis. Driving a tank can be an overwhelming experience. It's not the same as driving an ordinary vehicle. Tanks lack windscreens and rear-view mirrors, to name just a few differences. Driving a tank is a specialized job. A civilian can only dream of riding a tank, let alone driving or firing from it.
टैंक कभी चलाया नहीं मैंने, तो बहुत क्यूरियोसिटी है कि वो कैसे चलेगा और कितना आवाज आएगा उसका.
असली मजा तो तब आएगा जब टैंक को फायर करते हुए देखेंगे. पूरी एक्साइटमेंट अभी आ रही है, बहुत मजा आएगा.
Mission Army's civilian candidates have got a rare opportunity to train on T-90, one of the world's finest battle tanks.
There's no steering wheel. There's just these two rods on either side of you, left, right. And the gear is linear. It's not your gear box. It's just this linear kind of thing. There's reverse, there's neutral, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7 forward gears to a tank. So imagine 45 tons running at 70 kilometers per hour. Lethal.
It was like a dream. I dreamed that tank चलाऊंगा, G.I. Joe के साथ खेलते थे.
I start my tank and I take it wherever I want to.
सबसे बेस्ट कब लगा मतलब जब वो चालू होता है और वो साइड से जो मिट्टी उड़ती है एंड यू फील लाइक यू आर द किंग ऑफ दैट टैंक एंड जस्ट मूविंग थ्रू द डेजर्ट.
जान लग रही थी बिल्कुल ऐसे कि बस अब मैं दिल्ली ले चलता हूँ, जो जितना ट्रैफिक है ना सब बस साइड में बोलो.
आगे जा रहा था, राइट वाला
मैंने जानता क्या कि वो यहाँ पर थे राइट लेफ्ट, तो मैंने राइट लेफ्ट को थोड़ा पहले पास में रखा.
The tanks have them mesmerized completely, and this is just the beginning. For they shall be spending a lot of quality time with these mechanized monsters. After the break. The mechanized infantry has deadly striking power on the move. Mechanization has given the infantry speed, shock power, and surprise. necessary ingredients for success in any battle. The tank and mechanized infantry troops can fight and win engagements in many different war scenarios. This is made possible by its ability to split itself and fight as mounted as well as dismounted elements.
पुराने ज़माने में टैंक्स होते थे हमारे पास एंड उसके बाद इन्फेंट्री. फिर कुछ सालों बाद रियलाइज किया गया कि इन्फेंट्री टैंक के साथ मैचअप नहीं कर पाती. सो दुनिया में कॉन्सेप्ट आया मैकेनाइज्ड इन्फेंट्री का.
Unlike the soldiers of the light infantry, mechanized infantry enjoys superior tactical and operational mobility. Their fire support weapons are mounted on motorized transport and are often built directly into the combat vehicles, thereby increasing their firepower.
We can perform tasks of the infantry and we have matching mobility to work in conjunction with armor.
During mechanized operations, both armor and mechanized infantry operate in conjunction as a tactically integrated entity. While tanks and BMP combat vehicles destroy enemy tanks and hostile fighting vehicles with long-range anti-tank guided missile fire, the mechanized infantry troops dismount and engage the enemy in close combat situations and capture the objective. Their objective is to swiftly establish complete control over enemy territory and enable advancement of tanks and troops further inside enemy areas.
I joined the mechanized infantry because first of all I was fascinated by the kind of equipment which has got. It is a very versatile equipment.
The primary fighting vehicles of the mechanized infantry is the Russian-made BMP. Looking like a mini tank, the BMP is an amphibious armored infantry combat vehicle capable of operating on land as well as in water. Once in water, the BMP floats across and it can move at a maximum speed of 7 kilometers per hour. Unlike tanks which cannot cross water obstacles deeper than 5 meters, BMPs suffer from no such limitation. In fact, these have successfully participated in joint exercises along with the Indian Navy in high seas also. In addition to its driver, commander and the gunner, a BMP can additionally carry 7 fully armed soldiers. These are called stick. These 7 soldiers can quickly dismount through the rear doors for launching assaults. The dismounted team delivers small arms and tactical fire.
We got all the small arms starting from a 9mm pistol till the missile. We have a plethora of weapons authorized to different persons in mechanized battalions.
With a full complement of infantry weapons including the 81mm mortar, the mechanized infantry maximizes its potency and mobility with the BMPs. When it comes to operating terrains, BMPs are all-rounders to the core. They can operate in the plains, deserts, paved areas, rocky terrain and in high-altitude snow-covered surfaces with equal ease. Indian Army has deployed this potent war machine at heights above 11,000 feet. The regiment has succeeded in synergizing and exploiting the inherent strength of all the 5 components of a rapidly mobile war machine: men, weapons, protection, mobility and communication.
The proudest moment of my career has been as a mechanized company commander in high altitude area, where I took my BMPs and I deployed them as far north as was possible and has been done for the first time in the country.
The BMP is equipped with a combined infrared searchlight periscope and infrared night sight for the commander and the driver. They are also capable of generating smoke screens by injecting diesel fuel into their exhaust manifolds.
We have to conceal ourselves by means of smoke dischargers. We have to save ourselves from the anti-tank weapons.
The BMP is armed with a 30mm cannon. This can effectively engage both ground and aerial targets in a range of up to 4 kilometers.
The cannon of the BMP can be used against normal soft-skin vehicles, against enemy infantry in open. It can be also used to engage enemy aircrafts.
We are tomorrow's regiment in today's army.
The mechanized infantry soldiers are an embodiment of true blue warriors, a blend of valor, unrelenting fortitude, gallant mobility, devotion to duty, courage of conviction, and spirit of sacrifice. Will Mission Army's 5 candidates have what it takes to live up to this high standard?
हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि कब चलेगा मिसाइल और मतलब कैसे होता है. पहली बार खुली आंखों से देखने वाले थे.
The Mission Army candidates, continuing with their stint at the home of the mechanized forces, are getting accustomed to the BMP simulator. The simulators are used for training soldiers in driving and operating their infantry carrier vehicles.
यहाँ पे आप चेक कर सकते हैं. सबसे पहले जैसे आप एंटर करेंगे आपको इस BMS को ऑन करना है. नेक्स्ट 14 नंबर को टॉगल स्विच को ऑन करना है 1 से 1.5 मिनट तक.
The candidates also get exposure to the equipment, weapons, and battle tactics of mechanized infantry.
इन सांस में एक बार कॉक करते हुए लेफ्ट हैंड से यहाँ पे ट्रेस मल्टीप्लाई बाय 22.5.
ये आपके सामने 30 mm गन है जो कि BMP-2 के अंदर शॉट मार्केट किया है.
From the simulator to the actual machine, the Mission Army candidates have an invaluable chance to experience what they have learned. They have to drive the BMP from the driver's compartment. Stop it on reaching the firing point. Shift to the gunner compartment. And align the main gun to the target and fire.
BMP का जो जाता है हिट करता है, जब वो बाउंस होता है टारगेट के यहाँ से, वो मस्त बहुत बेस्ट है वो.
Rudrashish, always on the top of his game, has grasped the training very well. His firing was right on target. Kuldeep seems to have found the BMP too light for his liking. He has spread the rounds all over instead of hitting the target.
कल मैंने पापा को फोन किया तो वो मुझे बोल रहे थे तूने 4-व्हीलर छोड़ के डायरेक्ट टैंक चलाया क्या. तो मैंने बोला हाँ, अब मैं कार चला सकती हूँ एनी टाइम.
Priyanka is living a dream. She now gets a chance at the small power-packed BMP. An experience of a lifetime.
जितना स्मूथ सिमुलेटर पे था उतना नहीं था वो.
Rudrashish gets a golden opportunity. For being the best shot at this exercise, he gets to fire a live missile from the BMP. A rare honor for a civilian.
हम इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि कब चलेगा मिसाइल और मतलब कैसे होता है. पहली बार खुली आंखों से देखने वाले थे तो बहुत ही ऑसम फीलिंग थी.
Firing the missile, you don't realize what's happening. I'm not even allowed to look at the missile. I'm only supposed to look at the target, because if you look at the missile can just go off. It's got a guide. It's a guided missile, so you have to guide it towards the target. When I jumped off the BMP, and suddenly I was swarmed by 4 of my mates, Rohan, Kuldeep, Ela, Priyanka, and then I realized that what I did was something special, and I was very happy to see that they were happy for me. I was given this badge that is given only to pilot gunners. Obviously, I'm not a pilot gunner, but being on Mission Army, being able to fire the anti-tank missile, I was given this badge.
It feels so nice when somebody comes and puts something on there.
I still don't know the significance. Honestly, I don't know, but I just know that it's an honor, so I'm feeling very honored.
Proud and bashful at the same time, Rudrashish and his mates celebrate at the end of another enriching experience. An officer in the Indian Army is supposed to be an embodiment of everything that his regiment stands for. Exploring and internalizing its customs and traditions is a vital component of an officer's life. Posting out ceremony or dining out is one such tradition.
Accept this memento as a token of our love and affection and great association as comrades at arms.
Party has been thrown in one of the officers who's been leaving this corps to get transferred from some other.
An officer getting posted to another unit is given a memorable send-off by his buddies and seniors.
He's a jolly good fellow, he's a jolly good fellow, he's a jolly good fellow, so say all of us, so say all of us.
For a moment I forgot that I'm a civilian here. I felt like an officer, and I want to be back here. Come back into the army as an army man and not as a civilian and just as a participant.
Ready to fire, sir? Okay, fire.
फायर का बटन दबाया सिर्फ फायर और कुछ भी नहीं दिखा मुझे.
जब टैंक ने फायर किया जैसे कि पहाड़ फट गया.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
The final day for the Mission Army candidates with the Men in Black. They will be judged here for their ability to perform the duties of a T-90 crew. Rudrashish is the first one to go for the mission.
Morning, sir. Morning. Okay, Rudrashish, you ready? Yes, sir. Your frequency that you've set is 42.5. Time starts now.
As soon as their time starts, they have to rush to the driver's compartment. Activate the main master switch to supply power to the tank. Then go to the commander's cabin and establish radio contact with the conducting officer. All this in 10 minutes. One has to really know the tank well enough to be able to reach its radio controls and quickly set the desired frequency.
Tango, 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 over.
Tango, okay, over. Tango, okay, over.
Rudrashish is not able to set the frequency.
That's where my problem started. I just couldn't communicate with the officer. I could hear the officer, but somehow I couldn't get my communication out to him.
Narrow spaces further compound the problem Rudrashish is facing.
0, 0. Tango, okay.
Tango, move now out. Okay, he's taken 7 minutes plus to set the radio frequency. Now he'll be starting the tank.
Once the contact is established, the contestant has to go back to the driver's compartment, start the tank, and complete the driving track in the shortest possible time.
I communicated with the officer. He gave me the go signal. I got out, rushed to the driver's seat. I knew I had to make up for time. And then I drove that tank like a Ferrari. I was against time, so that itself was a task for me. And the original task itself, taking the tank through the obstacles.
Rudrashish has to negotiate the 5 square kilometer track, which is full of zigzag turns, deep ridges and uneven rock beds.
कार्यपूर्ति की रिपोर्ट देता हूँ सर।
Okay.
जितना टाइम पूरे कोर्स पे नहीं लगा उससे ज्यादा टाइम तो डबल टाइम तो वो कम्युनिकेशन में लग गया। So it doesn't matter how well I did this. I lost all my time.
Time starts now.
Priyanka, the youngest in age and the shortest in height, is next.
Okay, now the mistake that Priyanka has made is she directly went into the commander's cupola, not realizing that she had to switch on the master switch.
And I was thinking that something is missing by me and this is not operated yet. फिर मैं ड्राइवर के इसमें गई, मैंने मेन स्विच ऑन किया.
So let's see how she copes up.
हो गया.
Tango, tango, tango.
Her height seems to have helped her to find all the right switches and establish radio contact. But it is proving to be a liability whilst driving and maneuvering the tank.
I think now she's heading towards that ऊपर से नीचे वाला.
She loses out on vital time while trying to negotiate the bump. She manages to cross all the hurdles, but she stops the tank before the finish line, which will definitely affect her result.
कार्यपूर्ति की रिपोर्ट देती सर.
Okay.
Rohan seems to know that while tanks may be intimidating to look at, they're quite friendly if one follows the laid out procedures while operating them.
Tango okay over.
Tango moon out.
It was great fun क्योंकि अकेले को टैंक चलाने को मिल रहा था. कोई रोकने वाला नहीं है. कैसे भी चलाओ, फास्ट चलाओ, स्लो चलाओ. Just you need to take the safety precautions.
Rohan is a serious contender in the race for the final prize, the international mission. He ensures that he follows all that he has learnt in his training. His timing has been the best so far.
जैसे communication हुआ, then I just geared up and बहुत speed में चले, मजा आया.
Ela is next. She's determined to give the boys a run this time.
मेरे लेफ्ट साइड के पैनल पे इतने सारे स्विच बटन थे, इतने सारे टॉगल स्विच थे कि मैं कंफ्यूज हो गई कि कौन सा दबाना है.
The layout of the tank's master controls has left Ela bewildered. The radio switch too seems to have eluded her. Ela is unable to find her way through the maze of switches and controls for starting the tank.
We've still done about just over 7 minutes. So we can wait for another 3 minutes before we disqualify her.
I started from the left side. I started seeing कि कौन सा बटन है कौन सा नहीं है, लेकिन मुझे वो flip बटन नहीं मिला जिसको flip को उठा के जिसको press करना था.
Time is running out and Ela can't seem to orient herself.
Okay, I think we should pull her out because she's exceeded the time. Ela, I think we'll have to pull you out because you exceeded the time.
For her, it's all over.
So you'll have to
find the switch.
Yeah, so that's the problem. You know, because there's a stipulated time within which you have to move out of this place.
Ela has lost the opportunity to compete in the final task.
I couldn't figure out where the start switch was, so I'm feeling really bad. I mean, just one chance I got and I've just missed it. It's going to impact my performance here because I've just lost my chance.
Kuldeep is completely at home in the tank. He hits bullseye in all procedures of the task.
Kuldeep Rana reporting, sir.
Tango move now out.
Okay, sir.
We've already got the report now, and Kuldeep is moving towards the driver cupola.
सीधा अपना पहला गियर लगा के जैसी टैंक उठाया तो बस फिर तो खींचने में टैंक पूरी हडल्स वडल्स जो थी ऑब्स्टेकल सब काटता पीटता तेजी से ले गया. चौथे गियर से फिर सातवां गियर, फिर सीधा दूसरा गियर जहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम दिखी और फिर तो जैसे कि कोई फॉर्मूला 1 चला रहे हैं रेगिस्तान की.
His driving skills and determination to win the mission has made the task look easy. Kuldeep is thrilled not only for the cross-country Formula 1 experience as he puts it, but also because he has completed the task without any hassles.
I think I've done good relating to my previous task at Commando and IMA.
The Mission Army candidates who completed the task successfully got an opportunity to fire from the mighty T90. Yet another feather in their cap. Not completing the task, Ela has missed the chance to fire the T90.
Ready to fire, sir? Okay, fire.
जब टैंक ने फायर किया जैसे कि पहाड़ फट गया हो.
It was overwhelming, the magnitude of it, the sound inside, things happened so fast.
फायर का बटन दबाया और सिर्फ फायर और कुछ भी नहीं दिखा मुझे.
Never gonna forget this. This definitely not. The sound, even standing here, the fireball that comes out, superb, superb.
Mechanized Forces has thrown the game open. Ela stands last in position because of her inability to start the tank. The youngest of the lot, Priyanka, is fourth. Rudrashish is not being able to live up to his BMP performances. Comes in third. The perfectionist Rohan is second. And the winner of the Mechanized Forces mission is Kuldeep Rana. The Mission Army warriors bid adieu to the Mechanized Forces. These mean war machines and the men of style and elan will be etched in their memory forever. They move on to become a Topchi, the men with the big gun and big heart. Inside Artillery next week.